Morning, guys. I wasn't really planning on doing a video today, but there's something I want to kind of let's see, help you all see. Um, One of the things that I try to do on this channel um, is to help people see things maybe in a way that either they wouldn't ordinarily see, or help them to see what they're not seeing. Now, that's not really to say that I'm some great whatever, but a lot of times, kind of depending on what level of consciousness you're on, you're able to kind of step back and see some things that, maybe everybody's not really looking at or paying attention to. And that's one of the things about being conscious. That's one of the things about living in this time and era right now. There is so much symbolism. There's so much subliminal messages. And I mean, I really think, especially when we start talking about things like media, I would say between 90, 95, if not even more percent, is subliminal. It has to do with what they're not saying, and it also has a lot to do with who they're talking to. And that's where those who are not fully awake, and maybe those who are just kind of just living in the now and just carrying on with life and just in a day-to-day routine, and that can happen. People get like that, because I was like that at one point. You're just going on with your life and doing the things that you normally do every day, and so you're just not really paying attention or aware of some things unless somebody brings it to your attention. So that's kind of what I strive to do on this channel, is to help people see some things that they may not be seeing, or may not be even as obvious. But anyway, once again, this thing in Milwaukee. Two things I want to bring up. Okay. First thing I want to bring up about what's going on in Milwaukee. Not so much. I'm not going to talk so much about the incident, the cop and the whatever. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, not too much. But it's just really, I'm not talking about details, is what I'm trying to say. But there are a couple things that I just want you all to see. The first thing is, do we remember, I think it was Ferguson, back when they first started talking about bringing in National Guard and, other agencies to really help them squelch the violence and, kind of keep calm with what was going on. Okay, that's the same thing that we see going on here in Milwaukee. And I'm bringing that up because that's when you know it's real. I'm always talking about and making hints that some of these shootings are just a bunch of propaganda. I think some of them are staged. Matter of fact, I know some of them are staged. But this, what's going on in Milwaukee, that's the real thing. That's the real thing. You have a bunch of very angry, outraged, looks like to me, young African Americans who are not listening, who are not, listening to the pastors, because, the pastors are the ones that they have always used to come and calm black people down, or cause black people not to be ready to, So I'm not saying that. Now, I did hear them saying something about them trying to work with some local pastors to, maybe kind of keep things calm. And, they're going to do that because that's a age-long tactic. That's something that have always been used. But as we near the end of this stuff, you are going to see more and more and more those type of tactics. You calling in the preachers and all that are not going to work, because this young generation, this new set of young generational, who I'm going to call warriors, are not listening to that stuff anymore. You see, back in the day, they used to could go and get the preacher, and the preacher would, look what Martin Luther King, and he'd just have the whole black community behind him, and we listened and we obeyed and we respected him and everything. But now, with everything that's going on in Christianity, not that it hasn't always been, but with this awakening that people are being able to see now, the lie that is Christianity, and the way that it's been used and pushed on the black community as a tool and as a weapon for those who are in charge, it's coming to an end, because this new set of young children that is coming up now are not listening to that anymore. So, and I'm glad. I'm very, very glad. Religion has been a horrible thing, a horrible and a great and mighty weapon that has been used against black people for centuries. Now that the awakening is going on, this young generation doesn't want to hear that anymore. They don't want to hear from the pastors. So, but anyway, as I'm saying, I see that with them wanting to call in the National Guard, and with them wanting to, they need more help. It's the real thing. I don't see Black Lives Matter out there. I don't see Black Lives Matter out there, and I don't see all these gang load of white people who Black Lives Matter usually brings with them, with their signs. You don't see that because it's not staged. Because this is the real thing. Because white people know they better not go down there in the middle of all this talking about Black Lives Matter. When it's real, black people don't want to hear that crap, because we already know what you're doing is BS. We already know it's planned, it's staged, it's all of that. And we know that for the most part, you all don't believe that Black Lives Matter. You all need Black lives not to matter so that you can stay in the position that you're in. If Black Lives Matter, you're going to lose your position. And you're not willing to do that. That's the reason why things have been the way that they have been for so long. Look at what's going on. I just want to go off here for a minute. Look at what's going on with our Olympics. Worldwide, black people are absolutely dominating and taking over these Olympics. Just everywhere. Everywhere. It's black people doing it. But and they might acknowledge it. They might acknowledge it. But the issue is that nothing's going to change. As a matter of fact, it is planned to get more oppressive. Now, whether all that oppression and all that stuff is going to work for them, I don't think so, because I believe that their reign and their time is up to rule. But they're not going out without a fight. They know that it's done and it's over. That's what all the anger, the hostility, that's what all of this is about. We talk about. This was gonna be another video, but I'm just gonna throw it in with this video. We talk about how white people, have their white privilege, and they live in that, and they expect that, and that's how they get by, is with their white privilege. And white people just don't understand this, white people doesn't understand that. The thing that you need to know as a black person is white people understand. White people understand more than we think, more than we give them credit for, and more than we even know. Oh, they know. They know. They know. Now you got some ignorant ones who don't know. But for the most part, they know. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly why they have done it. They know exactly why it has to be done. I mean, they understand. They understand the power structure and the system way more than we do. See, we just think we have, some mean white people who just don't like black people. No, it's not that. That's a small part of it. We have to stay down and be oppressed, because the minute we rise, the minute we understand who we are, the minute we take back who we are and take back what was taken from us, they're done. I mean, they're already done, but it'll go a whole lot faster when we realize that is what needs to happen. And they're really just trying to hang on to a losing and falling kingdom as long as they can. So they know, they understand the push in the media. They understand exactly what they're doing. They understand what they report. They understand when they accidentally say nigger. They understand when they accidentally say something derogatory and issue a half-assed apology like they do. They know what they're doing. I mean, seriously, these people have not gotten to where they are in the world without being smart and without being very manipulative and without being great liars and without, I mean, all of this stuff that we can say bad about them, they've used it to their advantage. And hey, that is what has gotten them to the point that they're in. I think that the point that they're at here in the world, I also think it was some other things, a bunch of supernatural stuff, and I think it was just their time. I think it was just their time to rule. Maybe the planet, the earth, the people just had to see something. And maybe they just had to learn a lesson, I mean, I don't know. But, anyway, like I say, it's done. It's over with. It's falling slowly, and they are terrified, and they are panicking, and they are desperate, and it's nothing really that they can do about it, because it's not us that they're fighting against. They are fighting against us because that's what they're used to doing. But as far as black people picking on white people and black people trying to start a race war and all this stuff that they're already always talking about, we're not doing it. Back to Milwaukee. Now, once again, they're bringing in, or they're talking about, they were threatening, I guess, whatever, talking about National Guard and, everything, how things need to be under control. But one of the things I have to ask everyone, do you realize, is that black people never start this stuff. From way back, black people do not go into white people communities and just start stuff. Black people don't just start burning down buildings and burning down, whatever they're burning down. They don't just do it just haphazardly, like white people like to say, oh, black people are so violent. Oh, black people just do this, and black people did this, and black people. But we don't do it without people messing with us. Black people are not just out rogue all the time, just doing stuff, if you know what I mean, as they like to paint it. But, if you leave it to them, this is the all-time ongoing occurrence, just thugs and niggers and monkeys running around on the loose, just unchained, and we need to be controlled. It's not the truth. This stuff happens, especially in black communities, usually when it's some cop who goes and kills and shoots, or, I mean, does their dirty work for them. And then you get black people riled up, and let me go into that before I start going too far off. Now, one of the things I wanted to bring up in talking about Milwaukee is the fact that the fact that we have, this was a black cop this time. This was a black cop. Okay. Now, the thing that really gets me is how there seems to be a, they keep bringing up the point that a black cop shot a black man in Milwaukee. And I'm noticing this, and it's making me say, why do you keep putting emphasis on him being black? Is it that the real, is it that the real thing that you are trying to say, that because it was a black cop, we should not be doing what we're doing? Or, oh, I bet you all did that, all that because you thought it was a white cop. Well, here, look, it was a black cop. What they don't understand is that it doesn't matter. It's still a cop. It doesn't matter about the color of the cop. What matters is that he's still working for the system. I mean, I don't know how many of you really know and realize that black cops a lot of times are a lot more oppressive than the white cops. Black cops are the ones who open up the entry to go into black neighborhoods and to do the things that the white cops do. It's like they're the bulldog for the white cops. So we don't look at him any different because he was a black cop. We don't look at him any different because he was a black cop that shot a black man. I mean, that goes back to that mentality of, oh, black people kill each other all the time, so it's okay if a black cop will shoot a black man. That's that crazy European white supremacy stupid mentality again. That makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense. But yeah, no one is it's not okay because he was black. It's not okay. you know it's not okay. Let me tell you what the issue is before I turn my video off today. The issue is not that he's white or black. When you really get down to it, it's not that he's white or black. We know that we do have all these white men cops basically killing, gunning down black men, whether it's televised or whether it's not. We know that it's happening. We know that that is a war. Okay. The real issue is that black people see and realize that white people get into encounters with cops all the time, where they are the aggressors, where they are a lot of times the instigators, where they don't comply, they don't listen and follow the rules, where they drive off on cops, where they spit on cops, hit cops, cuss cops out, everything else. And these white people never get killed and shot. I'm not saying that it does not happen, but there's never this big, huge media outcry because a white cop shot a white man, because not because it doesn't happen, but because that's not the propaganda that's supposed to be out there. That's not what they're trying to push. So don't get the idea that I'm saying that I know cops don't shoot white people. I know that they do. My point is, in most of these situations, white people walk away handcuffed. Plain and simple. And black people are usually dead or end up dead. That is the point. It's not about it was a black cop or a white cop or whatever that killed. I mean, it does make a difference when it's a white cop, but the fact of the matter is, it's the strategy. It's the strategy that we see, like I just said, when white people get into issues with cops, black, white, Chinese, Hispanic, when they get into issues with any color cop, 90% of the time, I'm going to say, they come out alive and well. and there's standoffs, and a lot of times white people have guns, especially in standoffs. But most of the time they have a gun, A lot of times they're shooting at cops. They shoot at cops and still come out alive. Black people are unarmed. Black people are usually unarmed. Let's get back real quick to this Corinne Gaines that I did the video on the other week. Where was her gun? You know, back in the day, they used to show evidence on TV. They would show you, they would give you some proof. Still today, and if anybody knows or has a link or has some more information on that, please let me know and I will post it. Because I have not seen a gun yet. I hear that that she pointed a rifle or something at the cops. Now, where is it? Where is it? Just like the situation in Dallas that I believe was completely staged and made up, because we saw nothing of that. We just heard a report. So supposedly this young man had writings all in blood and all this stuff at his apartment and everything. Where's the footage? Why not go and take the pictures of this? I mean, we have more technology now than we did in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and back then they would give us evidence and show pictures and things on TV. Now, all you get now today is a news story. And it's proven more and more and more how not only the media lies, the newscasters will sit there and read a whole scripted lie, and we know the cops lie. We know that they clean up and back up. I mean, we know they clean up evidence and do all these things to try and clear themselves and make themselves look good. So we know that they're liars, and still yet we have no evidence. If you want the public to have more trust in you, and if you want the public to see you as just wonderful, hardworking, with wonderful families, cops who are going out here to help the world and help people and be good and love people and protect and serve, then show us more evidence of your good. That's what I have to say. Show us the evidence of your good. Because all we hear and see is planting evidence, lies, and doctoring, paperwork, and all this kind of stuff. Lastly, now, supposedly, there's supposed to be a clip of the shooting in Milwaukee. Now, from what I heard, it's only 25 seconds long, but it has not been released, and even the people in Milwaukee are saying we want that tape released. One of the things that I had an issue with body cameras was that we know them. We know that if the cop is wearing the body cam, and we've already seen how they either take them off, they fall off, they drop or something, what's going to keep them from taking that body cam, going to their superiors and whatever investigation they're in, and doctoring the tape? You tell us it's 25 seconds long. Why is it only 25 seconds if he had it on? Why is it not the whole full length of whatever? Or why, when the cop began to see that things were beginning to escalate, would he not turn his camera on for some type of evidence? Why is it not longer than 25 seconds? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. They lie too much. And yeah, I think that if there is ever tapes produced from body cameras, I think that they are probably going to be doctored. So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Really, this stuff that is going on in Milwaukee, and just kind of, like I say, just showing you some things that maybe you didn't kind of look at it in that way, but it's a lot of symbolism going on. There's a lot of symbolism. We need to stop saying and thinking that white people don't know and they don't understand. They know very well. They built this system. Their ancestors built this system, and they have to know what's going on in order to keep this system going. So don't stop saying that they don't know. They know. Stop giving them that pass. They know. They're not as fragile as we try to make them. They know. they're not so secluded in their lives that they're just out of touch with reality. That's bull. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you all have a great week. And thank you all for listening and for watching. And until the next video, we'll see you next time.